Alright guys, so earlier I told you about FTX, and I told you that I would come back and tell you all about it because I couldn't take the camera with me. But FTX is our field training exercise, and we have one in the fall, like I've said before, and we also have one in the spring, which is the one we just got back from. Last year, when they went on spring FTX, it was freezing, so everyone thought it was going to be like cold and rainy, and it wasn't. It was really pretty outside. It was like low 80s, high 70s, so the weather was really pretty. What we did was we left Friday afternoon at 1:30, and we rucked with our big rucksacks up to a field. It was probably about 2, maybe 3 miles away, not very far. And we just went over some basic training, stuff that we should make sure that we knew for the weekend so that we could help the 300s out because they're graded on this whole weekend. Then we went and we were waiting for the helicopters because for spring FTX you get to take helicopters to the training site, which was so cool. So we took Black Hawk helicopters and we flew with the doors open, so it was amazing. And we treated it as a combat scenario. So they landed and we basically jumped off and landed like in the prone position, lying down, heads down, as if we were landing at like through fire or something, taking fire. And then they took off and went and got the next group because we went in 2 groups. And we basically just got a lowdown on how the weekend was going to flow, and we loaded up the rucks and everything because they came along in trailers, so we didn't fly with our rucks. Then Friday night, we basically, after the helicopter ride, went over mount and how to enter and seize and search a building. And we were taught how to do that all properly and with teams and all that good stuff. And then we also did ECP searches, which is you have an area and it's letting vehicles go in and out and people come in and out, and it's how to search a vehicle, how to read people, so you know, like, if you tell them to get out the car and then all of a sudden they start running, you know you should probably get away from the vehicle because there's probably like a bomb on it or something. And you know how to watch people coming in and out of the area. So we just went over that Friday night. And then that was kind of like a competition. So between Platoon 1 and Platoon 2, it was who could communicate the best and get the searches done most effectively. And Platoon 1 ended up winning, which meant they did not have to get up for fire guard during the night, which is you have to just walk around wherever we're sleeping for an hour and then until you wake the next people up, and do that in pairs. So Platoon 1, which is the platoon I'm in once, we did not have to get up at random hours of the night to do this. And so we actually slept in our sleeping bags in the convexes that we used to practice mountain. And so we went to sleep, and then we were up at 5 the next morning. We did all our hygiene stuff. We had like 45 minutes to do that, to eat breakfast and everything. And then we went to do a patrol lane. And on the patrol lanes, you have your squad leader, your platoon leader, and your team leaders, and then you have all the random people like me who didn't have like a specific job, and you just do whatever you're told to do. You pull security around the clock. You could be an EPW searcher, so you could, like, once we capture like the bad people, you search them, make sure there's no bombs on them, take weapons from them, any information you can get from them. Or you could have like compass, which is where you watch which direction we're going, or you could have pace count, which is so you know how far we're going. So there's special jobs like that that all get handed out, and you do that on the patrol lane basically, and you go to an attack point, which is where there's said to be like bad guys, and you go and you attack them, or you try and communicate with them, see what they're doing. So it's just like a real life scenario to see if you can go through it all. Then that takes 5 hours, and then we had lunch, and then we went on daily nav, which is where the 400s and cadre have already put points out in the woods, and they give you the coordinate points, and you have to plot them on a map, find the distance and direction to them, and then you go find them. And there's like little codes on signs once you find the points, and you bring those back and you get graded on them. For daily nav, there's 8 points, and you have to find 5 of them to pass. So we went out. 300s go out by themselves, 200s can go out with partners, or they can go by themselves. For the majority, they go out by themselves, and then 100s always go out with somebody else. So my group went out, there were 3 of us, and we ended up finding 7 out of the 8 points, which is not bad, especially for 100, so that was really good. And you get help along the way. There's like checkpoints you can check into and get help if you need it. And then that takes another, you have a 5-hour time limit on that, and then you come back. And we did that. Then we met up with 2nd Platoon, because for those whole thing we were split up into platoons. So we came together, we ate dinner, because they brought in a hot dinner for us, so it was catering from somewhere, and we got to eat it. And then we did nightly nav, which is, there's the same thing as daily nav, but it's a 3-hour time limit, and you only have 5 points, and you only have to find 3 points to pass. So, same thing, although for nightly nav, most 2s go out with a partner too, just because it's a little different, it's a lot harder to see. You can only use a red lens flashlight instead of white, because otherwise it affects your night vision. And then, so you go out, you find your points, and you come back, and then we loaded up the trucks, and we came back. We did drive back, we did not fly back. And then you unload the vans, and by this time it's about 1:30 Sunday morning. So most people go back, shower, and just get into bed and sleep. And then Sunday you either do homework that you had to do or sleep some more, because it's a really long weekend and you're really tired. But at the end of it, it's a lot of fun. It's definitely worth it, even though your feet might be in pain the entire time because of blisters. I mean, it's definitely worth it at the end. You learn a lot, and it's a great experience. So that's how FTX went. All right, see you later.